so next principle of management by Henry Fayol is scalar chain. Okay, in this series, that is as. So scalar chain, we need to understand the meaning of scalar chain. Scalar chain is what? From the highest to lowest rank of the formal communication is known as the scalar chain. Okay, you will not understand in proper way, but there is one word called hierarchy, and in every organization you find that hierarchy. Okay, hierarchy means there is one chief manager, then under him there is one assistant manager, then under him departmental heads, and then his subordinates. So that is known as hierarchy. Understanding the point? Okay, now you're getting. So principle of Henry Fayol says that there must be scalar chain in every organization, and it has to be followed very strictly. And what does it mean? It means that I have to draw one diagram over here, then only you can understand in better way. See, this is a diagram, this is the head of the organization, and these all are his subordinates. Okay, he is working under him, he is working under him, F is working under D. Similarly, G is working under E, E is working under C, and C is working under again A. Okay, and these are there on the same level. Fine. Now, the scalar chain says that if A has to inform anything to F, then he will not go this way. This is a wrong way. Okay. How he has to go? He has to go in this way. He will give instructions to B, B will give instructions to D, and D will give instructions to F. This is a correct way. Understanding the point? What is the meaning of scalar chain? You can take the example here as well. A will not communicate anything. If he is willing to communicate something to G, he will not directly communicate to G. Okay, he will inform C, C will inform E, E will inform G. This system has to be followed. Now, this is a system from top to bottom. Now let's talk about opposite situation of that. For example, suppose this F is having some problem and he wants to communicate his problem to A. Okay, so it's very easy. He goes to A and communicate. This is a wrong way. Fine. How he has to go? He also has to go in a similar way. What is the correct way? He will communicate his problem to D. D will try to give him solution if it is there in his hand. If he cannot solve, he will forward it to B. And if B can solve, then he will give the solution. If he cannot solve, then at last the problem will be forwarded to A. So from top to bottom and bottom to top, the same formula will be applied. Okay, directly nobody can go to anyone. Understanding the point? Okay, similarly, if B has to, now understand very specifically, B has to communicate C, then also B has to inform, now I just delete everything so that you may not get confused. So B has to very first inform A, and then A will pass on that information to C. That is what the normal activities of the business. Okay, why this scalar chain has to be followed? Because what happens if lower side problem everything goes to the direct head, then you will see that his workload will increase a lot. Okay, he cannot work then. Fine, because few problems and lot of problems can be handled at down place as well. So why to take everything there? His work will be hampered. Getting? So it has to be followed. Similarly, so that he can focus only on crucial problems, because he is sitting at the top level management. Understanding the point? Okay. So this scalar chain has to be followed from top to bottom as well as from bottom to top. It is not supposed to be broken. But there is one exception, and that was also given by Henry Fayol, and that exception was known as gangplank. Sometimes in 1 mark question it comes also in the exam. What is gangplank? Okay, what is the exception to scalar chain? The question can be asked in that way as well. So the gangplank situation is the emergency situation. Henry Fayol said that this scalar chain from top to bottom from bottom to top has to be followed strictly in normal course of business activities, but in case of emergency a shortcut can be produced, and in that shortcut he suggested that the same level managers or employees can communicate with each other. So in the case of emergency, D can communicate E. So this is known as gangplank. So gangplank is a kind of situation in which two employees of the same level can communicate each other without following the scalar chain. Understanding the point? Okay, so some kind of case study also can come on to that. So understand that. Now let's talk about what is the benefit of following the scalar chain. See, scalar chain, like I told you, it maintains hierarchy. Okay, and top level management will not feel loaded. He can focus on crucial decisions. Okay, what happens? There will be clear instructions about authority and responsibility. Who is having what authority? Who is responsible for what? Who has to report to whom? There is clarity about it. Okay, there is no confusion. Otherwise, what happens when everybody is going to report to him? Then why these people have been kept? Okay, why this system has been developed? This system has been developed so that the organization may work in a smooth manner. So if you follow this, the organization will work in a smooth manner. There will be a smooth flow in the organization, and everybody will know what is his authority and what is the responsibility. Okay, and if you talk about the negative aspect, if you ignore that, then definitely the proper flow of the organization will not remain there. Okay, and everybody, you cannot fix the responsibility, you cannot fix the authority. There will be a kind of chaos. Okay, so it is all about scalar chain. That is very much popular principle, and it is followed in most organization, be it private organization or government organization. Everywhere you find. Now let's move on to another principle. So the another principle is authority and responsibility in this series. This is A. Very first, let's understand the meaning of these two terms. Authority means to give right to command, or you say take decisions, and responsibility means it's a kind of duty. So, and the important thing about these two terms is that when you transfer authority to somebody, the responsibility also go along with. Okay, but when you give only responsibility, then authority is not transferred. The detailed discussion on this portion we will be having in the chapter organizing. Okay, at the time of delegation. Fine, but right now we need to understand what is that. I just give you an example. That suppose there is a person and he wants to defend his family, and his head of the family has handed over one sword to him to defend his family. Okay, so this sword is a kind of authority, and that has been given only to defend his family. Now what happened? One day he was having argument with his father, and then he took out his sword and he killed his father. Now this is called misuse of authority. So that authority was given to you with some limitation, only for the purpose, the positive purpose. Okay, but that person, what he did, he misused it, right? So that is what the negative aspect of the authority. If you see whenever authority exceeds the responsibility, why he killed his father? Because he forgot his responsibility towards his father, right? So it means authority exceeded responsibility. So whenever the situation happens, then the person starts making misuse of that. Okay, and now let's compare the negative situation of that. Say for example that authority is not having much, but responsibility is more and more. Then what happens? Then the person may not function well in that situation, because you are putting a lot of responsibilities to a person, but you are not giving any kind of power to him. Then what will happen? Then whatever activity you want, that may not be done in a proper manner, because you did not give him the enough authority. Understanding the point? Okay, like I give you one example related to an organization. There is a lower level manager, that is supervisor, and middle level manager said that production process must be completed related to these raw material within 15 days. Okay, so everything is available there, you just finish that. Now what happened? He started working according to that. Now the situation was that he did not give the key to the godown in which raw material was kept. Now, after 15 days, what happened? The middle level manager came and asked the supervisor, then the work has been completed. What he would say? He has said very deliberately, putting his full power, the middle level manager, that you have to complete it. He said, yes, I would complete. Okay, he could really complete it only when the key to the godown was given to him. So only responsibility was transferred, the authority was not given. So in that condition, what happens? He could not perform his function. Understood the point? Okay, now if more authority is given to somebody, then he may start misusing it against the organization itself. Okay, so Henry Fayol said that authority and responsibility should be given in equal proportion. Now, equal proportion should not mean like 50-50%. Okay, it means enough. Now, you'll have to understand, the manager has to understand that for that particular amount of responsibility, how much authority needs to be given, what powers up to what level must be given to that particular person, so that he may not misuse it, only he will be using it for the fulfillment of the purpose. Okay, so Henry Fayol said that there should be a kind of parity between authority and responsibility. Neither the responsibility should be more than requirement, nor the authority should be there more than requirement. If there is a proper balance, and remember always when we use the word balance, it doesn't mean 50-50%. It depends on the proportion. Okay, it may be possible into some activities 70% authority is required, then you will have to give 70% authority to that person. Understanding? So it depends on the amount, the proportion or the required proportion of that particular work. Okay, so there kind of proper parity between authority and responsibility. Only then whatever objective a manager wants his subordinates to fulfill, that is fulfilled. Otherwise, what will happen? You may miss your target. Fine. So that was the statement of Henry Fayol regarding this. Okay. So now let's talk about positive and negative aspect. Already we have talked about it. If we talk about the positive, then positive is what? Then everybody performs his responsibility pretty well, and misuse of the power is not happened if you maintain the parity between authority and responsibility. But if you miss that, if you do not maintain parity between authority and responsibility, proper balance between them, then what happens? Then we'll have to face the consequences. What are the consequences? Either responsibility exceeds authority. In that condition, the person may not work properly, or authority exceeds responsibility. In that condition, the person may misuse his power. So that is what the negative aspect. So it is all about authority and responsibility. Okay, now let's move on to another principle. So the ninth principles of management by Henry Fayol is subordination of individual interest to general interest in this series, that is S. Okay, let's understand the meaning of that. This is a long term, but it's very easy to remember that. You need to remember only subordination. Rest you can remember, no problem at all. Individual means single person. Okay. What does interest mean? That is not the interest on principal amount. Okay, this is something else. This is means benefit. Okay, general means related to all. All means company. Okay, subordination means shifting. Now let's understand the meaning of this. Every individual who is working in an organization has his own objectives, goals, desires. Okay, that is why he joins one organization. So if I want to work somewhere in any company, then definitely I'll be having some my objectives, goal, like I want to get salary, I want to fulfill my dreams, I want to buy a house, I want to get promotion, etc., etc. Okay, similarly every individual has his own goals when he is working in the organization, right? Okay, and when he is working under one department, then he has to work upon the goals of that department as well. But overall goals are also there in the organization. So sometimes what happens, the person either for his own benefit or for his departmental benefit, he sacrifices the overall objectives of the organization and the organization suffers. So that is why Henry Fayol gave the principle that when it comes of the benefit, then every individual working in the organization must think about the benefit of the organization, then he should think about the department, then he should think about himself. Understanding the point? You can better understand this point like if you are a citizen of a country, then very first you need to think about the country, then about your family, and then about yourself before doing any activity. Understood? Similarly, if you are working in an organization, then you have to focus on the common objectives of the organization, and that is called the general interest. So you have to sometimes sacrifice your individual interest only for the sake of general interest. Okay, say for example, you know very well that your organization has to complete one target within 2 days. Okay, and a lot of work is pending there, and your working hours are only 8 hours, but just for the organization you work there extra time, and then the goal was completed. So at this point of time you did not care of yourself, you cared of company's target, company's performance. It means you sacrifice your own interest for the sake of, for the completion of the general interest, that was the common interest of the company, right? Why? Because all the time this situation will come. Why it will come? Because you can say the interest of the company is always larger than the individual interest. Why? Because in company there are a lot of stakeholders like suppliers, customers, okay, owners, and even the employees, society. All these stakeholders are there, so their interest is always larger than the individual interest. So Henry Fayol said that one should subordinate his individual interest to general interest. He should think about company first, then he should think about himself. If he follows this policy, this system, then what happens? He will also get the benefit, and the organization will also get benefit by this. Understood? Okay, so what are the positive aspect of that? Positive aspect is that the everybody will remain to common objectives. Okay, there will not be any kind of problem. Okay, and you can say it brings coordination between the common objectives and the individual efforts. Okay, and what are the negative aspect? Negative aspect, lack of coordination, you can say, or the firm will not be achieving its goal or target within time. So that's what it says. Fine. So you will have to think about your company first, then think about yourself. Okay, maybe possible sometimes we compromise with some of the things for the sake of our own benefit, but maybe possible we are just damaging the company's image with our act. So that should not be done. Okay, so company's image is always represented by its employees. So whatever activities the employees are doing, that should be there in the interest of the organization, not in their particular interest. Okay. Alright, then let's move on to another principle of management by Henry Fayol,